Today is it. The big day. The day when this game gets finished. I'm so close. I just need to put the last tape in. And hopefully this means I can find all the recordings. And this definitely means that I will return to the Storytime showroom with everything I need. Oh, wait. Ooh! Oh! Oh, wow. Oh. I am so lucky. Yes! That's interesting. It only shows help you for the... It doesn't have a thumbnail. I'm surprised that's not really a tool. Yeah. I have everything I need. Huh. I don't need to even go out there anymore. I think I'm done. Unless I have to complete the rest of the game. That would suck. XO? This is very interesting wallpaper. Like, this is a very interesting house. I'm guessing 1930s. Now that I'm actually taking a moment to analyze this place. Huh. Very interesting. Alright. 6 down, 0 to go. I'm done. Bedtime story, all 6 of them. I wonder if this represents the original... No, that couldn't. That wouldn't make sense. Representing the original 6 kids. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, Puppet. Nah, that wouldn't make sense. Because they haven't died yet. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see what's down this vent. I am very excited to see what it is. The end is at hand. Hello? Oh! I know what this is. This was at the end of the Moon EXE. This is David's bedroom. This is very interesting. Can I go through here? No? Little Misula man lamp. Train tracks. Symbolism for anything? Train going. But then the tracks broke. I think the symbolism would be better if like the train was on its side after falling off the tracks. That would be really cool. Tiger plush. Hello. This also gives me vibes of FNAF 4. Is something gonna come out of that closet? Yeah, like, see this robot? This is so heavily, like, influenced by FNAF 4, that bedroom. What is this? Dog? Rabbit? Alligator? Panda? Or bear? Yeah. That's interesting. Dog? Rabbit? Alligator? Bear? Pink, blue, green, purple. Interesting. I'm not sure what that really symbolizes. Mini figurines of the Storytime showroom. Yeah, this is definitely a code for something. Tiger Rock. So, these are buttons. This looks like a book. Oh, hello. It is currently 1:30 o'clock. You again? Here's where he drew all these pictures. Key in the door for some reason. Not very much in this room. But it is a very story time. Is this where I fix what is broken, maybe? What's in this chest? Bear, rabbit, chicken, dog, alligator. Where does that... Oh, I see. doing that? No. Interesting. Why is it showing you? I'm still on board with the theory that David's soul inhabits that Tiger Rock suit that we encountered in the basement. Dog, rabbit, gator, bear. Dog, rabbit, gator, bear? Nothing happened. A rocket ship, little seal. You. Oh, there's the sun and the moon again. What do they mean? And then there's the bees. What do you mean? This is very springtime. Flowers. Pink. Blue. You are pink, right? Pink, blue, green, purple? No. I'm missing something. What am I missing here? This could take a while. So in the Moon EXE, it was... He bounced the moon, drew his name in the stars, and went through the snow with the Silent Hunter. You are the Silent Hunter. I do not know what you mean. What do you want? I'm telling a story here. Fix what is broken. The shapes in the background, like circles, flowers, dots, daisies. Huh. What am I missing here? I'm curious. What am I missing here? Let's try this again. It's not going to work, but... It's a storybook. Oh, there's wires. Oh. Huh. Where do these wires go? Didn't think to check. You go out. Oh, interesting. It's too dark to tell. You go into adjacent rooms. Whatever that thing is in there. Huh. Very interesting. I need to figure this out. I really want to figure this out. More blueprints. There's Moon again. I feel like this is some sort of a final test. This is when you despawn, don't you? So all of these cables, they go right into this kiosk right here. So this must be some sort of an activation unit. Six animals. Pink, orange, unless... Yeah, I know that's a dog, but... Couldn't hurt to try, could it? And a bear claw? Or bear paw? Or a dog paw? That's a fox. Never mind. This is definitely a clue. See, you're right side up, you're right side up, you're upside down, you're right side up. What am I missing? What am I missing? Flowers. What am I missing? Unless... Maybe something's not working. Because these don't seem like... Huh. Hue. Purple paws. Something is missing. Oh, this is a summer chest. S.O.M. Was this always open? I can't tell. I'm very confused. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna quickly go through my previous footage just so I can see what the code was again for the door. Okay, I got the code from the previous recordings. 6137 4 6 1 3 7 4. Oh, come on. 6 2 3 7 4. Oh, it don't. No, it random. Does it randomize? I really hope it doesn't. You know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna do something. Goodbye. This is the same thing again. Oh, please don't tell me the code is randomized every single time. This probably has nothing to do with it, does it?
I think we're ready. Okay, everyone hide. Fiona, go get him. I left him out at the playground.
And? Well, I'm not doing that again. Nope. No way, no when, no how. Simply no way. Roses. Nope. You're not coming in here. That doesn't answer any questions. Like, I don't... oh my gosh. What is up here? Oh, I have player light. That's cool. I don't think the answer is out there, because I've already went through that house long enough. Right? Bear paw. So I don't even know if this is like the... What? It's not even like as if... It doesn't even feel like it's accepting a code. It's just denying every button I press. So... What am I not doing? What am I missing? What am I missing? I hate these questions so much because sometimes I overthink things. I tend to overthink things and then... Oh. Whoa. Hello, dark closet. Any lore back here? Probably not. B. Bees. Suns. Moons. Stars. This is probably what I have to go through, but... Stars. A lamp. Illuminating. Hey. Huh. There's a pale blue lamp here. And then a glowing yellow one here. Oh, then there's a green one. Okay. Thought it was going to be like a day-night reference or something. A clue, maybe, but no. There's a dog. There is a rabbit. There's an alligator. There is a bear. This has power. It's not the problem. Do I need to put something on? Well, wait a second. Oh, do I need to put something up here? And maybe that's why there's an inventory system out in the adjacent room. So maybe. See, let's check what I have. What is flat? What's something that's flat and is related to a paw of some kind? That's promising. That is incredibly promising. I'm gonna try you first. I think this might be it, because there's even a little projection of you on the floor and everything. And there's a paw on top. This is just, oh, this is a huge swing, but let's see if this works. Oh.
Welcome to bedtime.
Yes.
Would you like a story to help
Oh
you
God.
sleep?
Hold on. Someone's missing.
What?
David? Where's
Oh God.
David?
What?
Come out, wherever you are.
No, 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 no. Do I
There
run?
you are.
Do I run? Do I run?
Do you remember how our story begins?
What?
Once upon a time.
Oh, hi. Hello. Oh. Oh. What? Okay. Wow, that. Okay, that worked though. I was not thinking that would work. But it did. Holy crap. That is genuinely disturbing that the mimic can change size like that. Huh. Okay. No wonder it saved just before that happened. But I think I know what I need to do. Right. Wait. Hi. You are very small. You seem to change size. So I think I know what needs to happen. So dog, rabbit, gator, panda. Interesting. So it's like, because the Mimic's M2 is malfunctioning, it acts like David? This is very interesting. Maybe this is how I fix what is broken. It's not physical, it's emotional. I'm helping it heal, maybe. So, dog, okay. And I can't move when I put this on, so.
Welcome to bedtime. Would you like a story to help you sleep?
Hold on. Someone's missing. David?
And it changes, like the color changes.
Come out,
And it shrinks to the size of a child.
There you are.
Okay, so, dog.
Do you remember how our story begins? Once upon a time.
Dog?
That's right. A pesky puppy plays fetch by itself.
Okay, rabbit.
Isn't that nice? So, what happens next?
Rabbit?
That's right. A bunny hopped over and offered to play cards. They had so much fun.
Okay.
Do you remember what happens next?
This is very bizarre. I know what happens next. I know what happens next. Hi.
That's right. An angry alligator came by and promised not to eat anyone.
This is.
But
Okay.
then he ate one of them. Oh no! What did they do?
They sent a bear after him. This is so bizarre.
That's right.
Yes.
The bear saw everyone arguing. The group
Oh, gosh.
yelled and gnashed their teeth, and it
Oh,
and he ran away. This shocked
fighting
all the
itself.
friends, and they realized that anger didn't solve anything. They all started a band and lived happily
Oh, gosh.
ever after. The end.
This is very interesting. Huh. This is such a fat. They stole this right out of Ruin. Fast Wrench reboots the animatronic. This is so daycare attendant. Which is ironic because theories have suggested that the daycare attendant, you know, night and day, sun and moon, originated from this place as well, like from the same schematics as the mimic. Do I dare? Okay, good. So I'm going to reboot it then. Why? What's up with the coil eyes? It didn't have coil eyes in Ruin, and plus, all of its teeth moved independently. Why does it look so different now than it did then? And it has different hands too. That's really bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna reboot your heart, buddy. It's not gonna hurt, so. Story time. Yep.
The moral of the story is that
Hi.
friendship is the real treasure.
Yes.
Now it's time for bed.
I hate how adorable this thing acts when it's been trying to kill me the entire night.
Parents love you. Sleep tight.
This is just so weird. Hello? Okay. So, I did not get all the recordings. Huh. So it mimicked David whenever I hate it when Steel does this where the game just ends like that. It's just so disorienting. Okay, so I'm trying to think here. So that's how you defeat it, essentially. With... Wait. Fast. Any field, big top, additional voices of masters. Sleepy Moon. Oh, additional voices, dimension. Wait. Oh, Jim the Kingsman. Huh. Okay. Yeah, props to all of these people. This game took a lot to pull off. Shaun of Pet. Fun 1970s, what is that, like, electric synth? In the background. So I'm curious. I saw the arrow moving up on the data diver when I reset M2. Was I uploading the schematics for it? I kind of see it. It does feel a little sad, like it inhabiting the memories of David and then shutting down like that. This. Okay, so what does this mean? I can't. Please don't tell me that the game has completely reset at this point. So I'm assuming this is the best ending because Arnold lives to tell the tale. A lot of questions, isn't it? This is gonna get people thinking. And you're gonna boot me out of the game, aren't you? You're gonna boot me out. Yep. And I can't join. No! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Wait. I'm just realizing. I got the achievement to fix what is broken, but yet I still wasn't able to turn on the night light bright show thing in the Storytime showroom. Was I never able to? Was that just never in the cards? Very interesting. This will erase profile data. Don't worry, you'll manage to keep all the collectibles you found. Well, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? See, that's my only gripe. Okay, I'm. You know what? I'm just gonna get into the part where I start talking about the game now, because there's a lot I have to say. I love a lot of the gameplay. I think I really like. There's a lot of really refined elements. The lockers, the mice distractions, even the spring lock suits. I really love that mechanic. It's a great element to add spice to the gameplay. The fear element of getting the fear element of not knowing which suit the mimic might be in. I think that works in paper, but in practice, I mean, it does. It's really scary, especially the workshop scene. I think that's very interesting, but I don't know if like that idea was really reaching its full potential, in my opinion, because on paper it really would have worked. In execution, though, I'm not really sure, because I don't know. There's something just off about it. It's not like I don't think it's like Subnautica, where, especially in those mushroom caves, when you realize that those mushrooms are what the crab snakes would use to put their homes in, but not all of them. And so now you're left in the dark, worried about getting near any of those mushrooms because they could all be in there. So, but what's happened here is that you have a single common enemy, and and it changes suits. It should have worked, I think, better, like, but it just didn't in some ways. I'm not sure why. I really like that mechanic in theory, but in practice, there's something about it that kind of grinds my gears in a way. Like, I don't see myself imagining which suit it might be in. It's weird, but it's true, I think. I really like the way they use the map. Now, okay, to be honest, moving on, the fast wrench mechanic, the data diver, that's the primary gameplay mechanic. That's really cool, and I really like it. And it's actually such a great gameplay-wise. It's actually such a great way to limit the player in terms of where they're going. So it's like the whole map is technically available, but at the beginning of the game, almost everything is locked off because you don't have the security clearance. And throughout the game, you know, as you get those upgrades, you'll be able to slowly unlock more and more of the facility. I really love that. That is such a cool mechanic, and I think that's what Security Breach was trying to be this entire time. So, props to Steelwolf for doing that. But in terms of immersion, I'm not buying any of that. I mean, the fact that you'd have to like electronic, you know, add all of the electronics for every single door in this entire warehouse building, and that you have to give every single employee their own data diver just to get around. Not only does that sound wildly expensive, but very impractical. Like, there's not really an explanation for all of that security. So, like, gameplay-wise, I really love it. Immersion and atmosphere-wise, I'm not buying it at all. And that's just more of a nitpick of mine. You know, if I'm being honest, I feel like the special glitched permission you get after completing Moon.exe, that was, like, very overrated. I feel a little minorly disappointed because I know the moment I got that, I knew, of course, that it would unlock those secret doors in the house. But I thought there would be more of like a glitchy bleep loop situation going on where, I don't know, the wrench and the door aligned their code or something like that, and it opened. I don't know. It just didn't feel very satisfying to me. And I thought you could use that for something else too. But I guess not. It was just doors. In terms of the story, moving on to the story, I really don't like the way they portray Fazbear Entertainment. Like, that is just so low. Like, that is just, like, really, come on. You could do better than that, guys. Seriously, like, this is how you're portraying corporations and, you know, establishments like that. And that doesn't even make sense. Like, this is 1979. This is before, you know, all of those franchise locations were even open, right? Like, you know, the facility from FNAF 1 and FNAF 2. Sorry, FNAF 2 came first, and then FNAF 1. I mean, as far as I know, there's Fall Fest, and then there's Fredbear's Family Diner. So it just makes me so confused why, you know, the company would somehow already be big enough to the point where they can just start treating their employees like crap. I mean, the last I knew, Henry is still alive. William Afton is certainly still alive. And this was like a partner / family-owned business. Not some soulless, heartless company. That just did not feel right to me. I don't know why they would take that turn, but I just don't like that at all. In terms of Arnold's character, he's a nothing sandwich, I have to be honest. He has nothing going for him. He barely speaks at all. I mean, yeah, aside from the scared breathing and stuff like that, that had some nice atmosphere and ambience to really show, his genuine fear of being here. Other than some lines, he's just kind of an obedient Fazbot. He's just being an obedient Fazbot. I mean, come on. Getting off of a 36-hour shift only to come to a place like this and go through all of that? Yeah, I'm not buying that either. Also, in terms of, just like with this main menu screen right here, this is Arnold's van. So, something I was really hoping was that at the beginning of the game, you get to look around and you get to learn more about Arnold's life as a character, because this is kind of where he eats, breathes, and sleeps out of most of the time. Talk about 36-hour shifts. But when you look around it, there's really not much to see, other besides the Spring Bonnie thing, bobblehead, some dice, I guess, and that's about it. You got some food cans down here and some pizza boxes, but other than that, it's just a work van. It's just generic work technician set dressing, and I feel like there could have been a lot of potential there, because this makes me really curious what Arnold's position was in this franchise. Like, what's his story? How was he connected to Fazbear Entertainment? Besides just being a technician, you know what I mean? Or I mean to myself, I don't care who's watching this. But that's just something that I feel like does not get looked on at all. And I guess that's okay, because this story is not about Arnold. It's, well, we all know what this story is about. Which I should probably talk about now. M2. Mimicky Boy. Mixter. So, I kind of already know the story because it's almost impossible to ignore the books these days. So the Moriko was a family-owned business, and Edwin's dad kind of passed operations down to his son, Edwin. And it's basically a costume and carnival game and attraction entertainment contractor that reaches out to other departments and companies, to deliver these attractions and costumes and general forms of entertainment too. And then at some point, he meets Fiona, who started out as a puppeteer and is working at the MCM. They fall in love, they get married, they have a kid named David. Everything's going great until Fiona decides to help out on the Fall Fest project, and she dies in the fire when it burns down. After that, Edwin laments over the death of her, and instead of just moving on like a normal person would, he instead decides to use his creative, inventive talents to create a program that can mimic his own wife. And I think this was M1, I believe. Like Mimic 1.0. And it was an endoskeleton, and it mimicked Fiona, blah, blah, blah. And it seemed to work out. Everything was fine, it wasn't violent. They managed to get along well, it could get into any costume. And then, several years later when David was 4 or 5, he gets killed by the car after his ball runs out into the road. And by the way, I only know this from the books. But the thing is that his ball was based on how much emphasis his ball had in those old tapes near the end of the game, and the actual item itself. Yeah, he chased the ball out into the road and the car hit him. And on the day of his 4th or 5th birthday. Devastating, all that stuff. Anyways, after that, Edwin was just completely devastated, and he didn't know what to do. And at that point, I don't know when exactly this happened, but around 1975, this was when the whole company started to really suffer. So profits were going down, contractors were pulling out, and at this point, companies like Fazbear Entertainment were secretly poaching other employees of the MCM in order to encourage them to jump ship and go join Fazbear Entertainment. And just other companies in general. So people start jumping ship, productivity starts going down, profits start going down, and the whole time Edwin starts getting very deprived. Like, starts getting very paranoid about what's happening around him. In addition to both of his sons and wife's deaths, now people are going about and stealing all of Fiona's designs, like the Chica design, which, go figure, is sent to Fazbear Entertainment. Well, actually, I'll get to that later. And so he pretty much just starts isolating himself from everybody. And then at some point, this is my version of the story, but at some point M2 gets built, which is somehow better than M1. Maybe to save on parts or something. Edwin removes the M1 program and shoves it into that supercomputer that eventually becomes Mexis? I have no idea. And then he uploads the M2 program. This could have happened before David died. Probably. And so, yeah, because like after David died, M2 just started mimicking David again in the hopes that this would make Edwin feel better. Spoiler, it did not. This is what led Edwin to just unleash his rage and grief and just start violently abusing M2. And that's where all of its psychopathic tendencies originate from. Those horrible traumatic memories. And so after that, things start falling apart. Edwin starts getting court summons. People start pulling out of the company. Until at some point, all he's left with doing now is the Fazbear project, whatever that is. I don't know what that is yet, but apparently, I'm guessing Fazbear Entertainment found a way in and bought out the entire company, property and all, including the whole costume catalog, which is definitely how they got hold of the Chica and Foxy designs, I believe. Yeah, Foxy was in this too. That makes sense. That's how they got a hold of those designs and everything else. And I think at this point, Edwin was trying to make a bargain with them that in exchange for completing the Fazbear project, something he would be benefited something. I don't know. But this is all he was doing. His bank account was overdrawn, budget overspent, and he was behind schedule. And at this point, William Afton wanted to come to a compromise. But before that could even happen, M2 returns and pretty much cuts Edwin's legs off or something. This was the recording in the house during the second ending that I found, or the fire ending. Yeah. The fire ending, yeah. So, yeah, at this point, that's where Edwin dies. In his own home, killed by the very monster that he had poured all of his rage and grief into creating. And so, after that, everybody's gone at this point. Edwin is dead. There's nobody left to run the facility. And so, at this point, Fazbear Entertainment just owns everything. They own all of it. And so they start sending in Fazbear technicians with data divers in order to retrieve the Mimic schematics for some reason. The M2 schematics. I'm not sure why. And then, they just keep doing this over and over again. I believe it's been about 4 times, because there were 4 bodies that I saw. And then finally they send in Arnold. And Arnold is the one who actually gets the job done. He gets executive access. He evades the Mimic this whole time, and he downloads the schematics. And then this is where things get tricky, because now, oh yeah, by the way, at this point, it's been 4 weeks since the government has sent Edwin a notice saying that a foreclosure notice, because this company is just completely gone now. There's literally no one left to operate it. Anyway, so now we're at the point where there's 3 different endings. One where you return the data diver to not dispatch, but it's actually M1, which is now taking refuge in that giant supercomputer. I believe it was called the program or the cradle or something like that. I don't know. And now that was the first ending. You give the data diver to Theonex M1, and what it was going to do with those schematics, I have no idea. Maybe find a way to stop M2. I don't know. And as far as I know, M1 was not corrupted the way M2 was, because it still says, I love you, Edwin, even though it doesn't know that Edwin is long dead at this point. So, but that's what it was trying to do. So, and it can mimic, so that makes sense. And so that's ending 1. You give it to Theonex M1, and then you get back into your van, and that's when he realizes that he just gave away the schematics to the wrong entity, and so dispatch fires him, and then convenient or unconveniently M2 was hiding in his van the whole time, and it kills him. Ending number 2, the fire ending. You go through the house, you get all this stuff. You go past that model of the masks building. I'm so curious about that. Maybe that was a future project or something. Maybe that was what the Fazbear project was supposed to be. I have no idea. But however, you make it to the top. There's a giant explosion in the side of the house. That's probably where Edwin died. I don't know what happened. Maybe M2 was trying to make a bomb. I don't know. But that's where Edwin is dead. And then that's when you go behind the room and you activate the mechanical XSplit experimental storage number 1. Mexis, essentially. That could be the program. That could be the cradle. I don't know which it is. But you activate it. You run the cradle, essentially. And then that's when the Mimic chases Arnold. And that, for some reason, the cradle program seems to overload the power in the whole facility, which starts to blow everything up. You make it back to the MCM, you escape, the whole thing just comes burning and crashing down. And that's when you escape. But then that's when the Mimic finds you and forces you to crash. And then it reaches through the windshield of your burning van and rips out your data diver, the actual computer component. And it hugs it to its chest like a teddy bear or a white tiger plush. And that has a lot of interesting lore implications there. And then I'm assuming Arnold dies in that car fire because there's nobody there to rescue him. That's ending 2. Ending 3 is when this ending, actually. So you put the tiger plush up on the pedestal. No, I'm sorry. You put all 6 story times tapes. Oh, that's interesting. All of those were pre-recorded lines from Theonex and Edwin. Those were the story time tapes, I believe. Yeah, that makes sense. Ugh. And so, as the Mimic tries to stop you, you begin telling the story. And I'm going to have to go back to my footage and listen to what was being said, because I was not paying attention to that at all. But somehow, something forces it to malfunction, like fight against itself. And I did notice its eyes were glowing orange and then blue, orange and blue, and orange blue, kind of like day and night, sun and moon, which is exactly what was happening during FNAF Ruin. They were fighting against each other from one side to the other until they eventually malfunction, and they just end up standing still, and that's when that gives you the chance to plug in your Faz wrench and reset the animatronic. That's like a 1-for-1 rematch of what happened here. And then the mimic starts acting like David. And I think that's what emotionally heals it, because that's what the achievement says. Fix what is broken. And I think that's what finally puts the mimic M2 at rest. And then it goes to bed and shuts down. And then I'm assuming, again, this is what ticks me off about what Steel Will does with these endings. I'm assuming that after it fades to black, Arnold is allowed to freely leave. That's what I'm assuming. But I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows anything. So in terms of this whole story, this whole shebang, I'm sure I'm missing some details here and there, but this whole story, I don't hate it at all, actually. I think there are some really genuinely cool ideas in there. However, it's pulling from the book, almost word for word, exactly what was happening. However, the endings of this game, and the fact that the Murray's costume manor never actually existed in the book at all, it was just a tiny little workshop in the books, it did help make this game different enough. So I'll give that a pass. I just don't... There's a lot of unanswered questions here. And I'll probably think of that as I think nearer, but... Not a bad game, I will say. Will I go back and try and look for all the recordings? Abso-friggin-lutely. However, I don't like... In some ways, I like, but I also don't like this New Game Plus feature. Because on one hand, Steel will fix their issues. Where in Security Breach, you would... The moment you get to that daylight savings, once you reach 6 a.m., any progress you make after that would completely disappear the moment you get game over, you get jump scared, or you actually achieve an ending, or you just quit the game. And that was just so incredibly punishing to the players, including me. And I hated that so much. So they definitely got their act together, and they, you get to keep all the collectibles you found, which, hallelujah, I don't want to get all of those again. However, it still takes away everything else. Why? No, I'm not sure. Why would I want to erase all of my profile data? This doesn't make sense. I understand that I'm in the end game at this point, and the game has already the game's autosave feature had overwritten itself several times, so I can't get back to the MCM. But I would like to redo that ending again, I would like to redo that again, but I can't do that now because the game is already doing it for me. I can't go back at all, and that really sucks because if I want to do anything now, that's the thing. I still haven't collected all of those audio recordings to get the achievement. So if I want any chance of doing that again, I have to start all over again and lose everything. All of my security upgrades gone, which means that I can't get through any of the facility until I've done all of the scripted events, until I've gone through the Jackie Chase scene, until I've gone through the Big Top, until I've gone through the theater and the Nurse Dolly section, and then until I've gone through the admin wing with the Chica, and then going through the basement with Tiger Rock, and then all of this stuff just to get back to where I was before, just so I can have full access to the MCM one more time. I don't know. I personally wish the game would like give us a feature of, oh, you know, would you still like to continue on this save? But beware, this will send you back before you pick either of the two routes in the security office. You know, before you activate the parachute program or give up the data diver. That's what I liked about ending 1, the bad ending, the give up the data diver ending, because even once you choose that and you beat the game that way, you can still come back and you're back where you were in the MCM. You can still go out and continue exploring, but it's like the moment you turn on the parachute program and you go to that house, the game just completely shuts you down, and I don't like that at all. I don't want to do all of this again. But I'm going to have to if I want to get the rest of the achievements. So what the heck? Why would you do this to me, game? I don't want to call it downright punishing, but it does feel that way a bit. I'm not sure how to feel. Because I worked so hard for this. This is the second time that I've done this already. This is the second time that I've gotten all of those upgrades. Plus the glitched upgrade. And then it's all gone again. So I don't know. That's my review. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, which again, it's not 5 nights. It's just 1 night, but who cares? Part of me kind of misses and wishes that the menu could change, like depending on how far you've progressed in the game. That is something about Security Breach that I really did like, was that the screen that you're looking at changes. But that's just a nitpick of mine. It's not a bad image. It's just a still image. It's the same. There's no like dynamic camera movements or anything like that. It's just a still. Even the dice aren't hanging and swinging back and forth. The bobblehead isn't bouncing around or anything like that. No flickering street lamps. It's just static. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine, but what a ride.